Fair use act, nigga.
There is nothing wrong with your television set.
Take the children and yourself and hide out in the cellar. By now the fighting will be close at hand.
Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission.
Don't believe the church and state and everything they tell you. Believe in me, I'm with the high command.
If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume.
Never had a doubt in the beginning, never a doubt. Trusted you true. Better you should pray to God, the Father and the Spirit will guide you and protect you from up here.
If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper.
You made me promises, promises, knowing I'd believe. Swore allegiance to the flag, whatever flag they offer. Never hint at what you really feel.
We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical.
Second time around, I'm still believing the words that you said. Teach the children quietly, for someday sons and daughters will rise up and fight while we stood still.
We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity.
Why do I believe?
For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear.
Why do I believe all of your promises? Knew you'd never keep. Why do I believe?
We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure.
A lot of people are going to be traveling over the holidays, and we're going to be going through what's called checkpoints. A checkpoint is a sign that you are not free. When we think of Nazi checkpoints, we think, no, you can't move from there to there unless you have my permission. And in order to get my permission, you need to satisfy any kind of questions or concerns I might have about you. I'm the authority over you. You will submit to me. If you don't submit to me, you don't go through that checkpoint. So when you see a checkpoint, whether it's a Nazi brown shirt checkpoint or a TSA blue shirt checkpoint here in America, that's a sign that you're not free. If you've got to take off your belt, undo your shoelaces, put your laptop in the bin, pour out anything over 3 ounces, including shampoo, conditioner, or whatever, this isn't the land of the free, home of the brave. And we need to understand that. And we need to let that sink down in our spirit, because the true spirit of America is the spirit of resistance and rebellion to that kind of checkpoint tyranny. And I don't care what it's in the veil of. I don't care how it presents itself. I don't care how fine or beautiful the mask is. A checkpoint is still tyranny. A checkpoint for safety is still tyranny. And the safety of the people will always be the alibi and excuse of tyrants. They'll take more money from the people. They'll expand government surveillance and the control grid for the technocratic state. And that's what we're going to hear right here with Kristi Noem. It's this safety needle that they want to convince you that's moving in your direction for your favor, keeping you safe. You want to get to your destination safely and conveniently, don't you? Well, we're just going to have to pour more money into it. So this is Kristi Noem saying we're going to spend another $1 billion on TSA checkpoints so you can travel safely to see you want to see your family, don't you? So you can see your family in safety with convenience. Here is Kristi Noem.
I wanted to come and be with all of you today to talk about the fact that we as the Department of Homeland Security are going to be investing over $1 billion in new technology.
Translation, we are going to steal another $1 billion from you to keep you safe. That's antithetical to free market operations. We're going to interrupt the market, and we're going to pour a whole bunch of money into this security apparatus, this technocratic state. We're going to give more power over to the techno bros so that they can invest in gait recognition and facial recognition and all these diagnostics that can sync maybe with your phone, maybe with your watch. We're going to keep an eye on you. It's for your safety. But we're going to hand all this control and all this power over to the techno bros, and we're going to do it on your dime, is what they're saying.
And new advancements in the security systems add to security checkpoints in airports across the country.
Add to what security? We're going to find out. There's been zero security since November of 2001, which was the inception of TSA, which operates under the umbrella of the Department of Homeland Security, which came online, by the way, through the unpatriotic Patriot Act.
That is the biggest investment that we've seen in screening technologies in years, in over a decade. And we know that
that's an investment in screening technologies, or it's an investment in Wall Street. It's an investment in Palantir. It's an investment in Oracle.
it is our responsibility not just to keep travelers safe, but also to make sure that we're getting them to their locations and to their destinations safely, on time, and efficiently, and also in a manner that can be pleasant and can be an enjoyable experience for them and for their families.
And the safety of the people will always be the alibi of Kristi Noem tyrants, of Joe Biden tyrants, of Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and Donald Trump tyrants. It's necessary. You want to keep what? You don't want to keep Americans safe? Then you're un-American. You're unpatriotic. Necessity. It's the plea for every infringement of human freedoms. It's the argument of tyrants. It's the creed of slaves. But let's get down to brass tacks as Kristi Noem stands in front of the TSA blue shirt checkpoint boys. Exactly how many dreaded terrorists has the TSA, the blue shirts of the TSA, actually nabbed since their inception? Well, I asked Grok that, and Grok says exactly 0. Since the Transportation Security Administration was established in November 2001 following the 9/11 attacks, it has not arrested or identified any confirmed terrorists at U.S. airport checkpoints. Official assessments, including reports from the U.S. Government Accountability Office, confirmed that while TSA's screening of passengers by observational techniques or SPOT programs has led to thousands of referrals to law enforcement, mostly for drugs or minor crimes. In other words, innocent people have been nabbed. Families have been destroyed. People have gone to prison and are probably still sitting in prison for minor drug charges, because we know the drug war, it's not a war on drugs, it's a war on people. It says no such referrals have resulted in the apprehension of individuals planning terrorist attacks. Now, security experts like Bruce Schneider describe TSA screenings as largely security theater, which is what we've been calling the TSA and the Department of Homeland Security since back in 2001. That deters threats through visibility, but hasn't directly nabbed any verified terrorists. But guess who the terrorists actually were? I'll give you a hint. They're all in this one photo behind me. Guess who the terrorists actually were? Guess who Americans were actually terrorized by. The Transportation Security Administration, TSA, was created in November 2001. Its total appropriations have exceeded $200 billion through fiscal year 2025, funded primarily by U.S. taxpayers via general appropriations, about $170 billion net after fees and passenger security fees. So you're not just paying on the tax end of it. Every time you buy an airline ticket, you're paying for airport security. Security that you're not getting. You're getting security theater. Oh, it looks good. It's a good show. You're going through that scanner. You're doing everything they tell you to do. The blue shirts are wearing their uniforms. It looks all legit. But guns and bombs are making their way onto your departing flight. They're actually using those screeners to look at women and using their hands to molest your grandfather and your grandparents and your grandkids and your kids. It's the radiation and molestation practices of the blue shirts at the TSA checkpoints. You're paying extra on your airline ticket and through your taxes for people who are not only not keeping you safe and securing you through these checkpoints, but they're ripping you off and jeopardizing your lives. And it's expensive security theater. It's ineffective and expensive. This estimate aggregates historical data, roughly $5 billion for fiscal year 2002, initial supplemental funding, $4.8 billion for 2003, and an average of $7 to $8 billion annually from 2004 to 2015, rising to $10 to $11 billion for 2016 to 2025. You notice what's happening? It's going up. They're taking more money. You're not getting any more service or security. Amid workforce expansions and technology upgrades, adjusted for inflation, the cumulative cost is higher, around $250 to $300 billion in 2025 dollars per USA Facts. The bottom line is these people are flat out lying to us all as they beef up the government, increase surveillance, and the technocratic control grid for the Palantirs and the oracles of this world. I hope you have safe travels. I hope you don't have to go through any molestation or radiation through the TSA checkpoints. I hope you're safe. I hope you enjoy your time with your family. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Let's change the world. And remember, the government is that armed, parasitic, psychopathic, vile, criminal, thieving gang that you were afraid would take over in the absence of government.
The strange noises in the skies that people think is drilling underground is actually them testing out for the Project Bluebeam, or whatever they're calling it. But the fake alien invasion, the Freemasons and the Illuminati are going to pull on us, because they're going to pull it on us. They're testing. Everything's coming together right now. We're literally, I just said this face to face to somebody yesterday. My name isn't anywhere in the Bible at all, but all of our names are in the end of the Bible. This is, we're going to see revelations. This is insanity. And I find it strange that Sam Altman and Peter Thiel, two of the biggest people involved in this entire thing, are both married to men. And one of them claims to be a very well-researched Christian who's always worried about the Antichrist, even though the Palantir system that they built is exactly what the Antichrist would need, so that it would have eyes and ears every place like God. Because it can't do what God does, so it has to replace it. And it can't build it itself. It has to have man build it for him. And Peter Thiel and the CIA, because Peter Thiel didn't build this, he's just the name on it. This is the government, the same government that killed MLK, JFK, 9/11, Sandy, everything that's ever happened, these guys did it. They're the same guys behind Palantir. It's just evil minions are getting incredibly wealthy.
In our countries, no one can walk the streets with a mask on their face or drive a car without a license plate. No one can send packages without showing an ID or buy a hunting weapon without giving their name. And yet, we are allowing people to roam freely on social networks without linking their profiles to a real identity. This paving the way for misinformation, hate speech, and cyber harassment, because it is facilitating the use of bots, and it is allowing people to act without being held accountable for their actions. Such an anomaly cannot continue. In a democracy, citizens have the right to privacy. In a democracy, citizens have the right to privacy, not to anonymity or impunity. Because with those two, social coexistence would be impossible.
No! No!
That is why I believe we must push forward the principle of pseudonymity as the functioning element of social media, and force all these platforms to link every user account to an European digital identity wallet.
No! No!
This way, citizens could use nicknames if they want, but in the case of a crime, public authorities will be able to connect those nicknames to real people and hold them responsible. Because accountability is not an obstacle to freedom of speech. It is an essential complement to it.
The spread of hatred and lies online is causing grave harm to our world. Misinformation, disinformation, and hate speech are fueling prejudice and violence, exacerbating divisions and conflicts, demonizing minorities, and compromising the integrity of elections. Threats to information integrity are not new, but they are proliferating and expanding with unprecedented speed on digital platforms and supercharged by AI technologies. Science, facts, human rights, public health, climate action are under attack. And when information integrity is targeted, so is democracy, which depends on a shared, fact-based perception of reality. False narratives, distortions, and lies breed cynicism, disbelief, and disengagement. They undermine social cohesion, putting the Sustainable Development Goals further out of reach. Opaque algorithms push people into information bubbles and reinforce prejudices, including racism, misogyny, and discrimination of all kinds. Women, refugees, migrants, and minorities are common targets. Lives are at stake when lies are spread about vaccines and other medical issues. The United Nations' own operations and missions are compromised as our staff deal with a tsunami of falsehoods and absurd conspiracy theories. We demand action. First, to the big tech companies, take responsibility. Acknowledge the damage your products are inflicting on people and communities, and you have the power to mitigate harm to people and societies around the world. You have the power to change business models that profit from disinformation and hate. The climate crisis is a cause of particular concern. Coordinated disinformation campaigns are seeking to undermine climate action.
So what does the WEF Partnership Against Cybercrime want? They're very open that they want a regulated internet. So essentially what this public-private partnership that the WEF is pushing for is for every person's access to the internet to be tied to a digital ID. And the goal of that, of course, if your ID is linked to your internet access, intelligence agencies know exactly what media you are consuming in terms of, what you read and also what you post online. And that has been the goal for a very, very long time.
I mean, come on, am I the only one that still finds it extremely weird that all the 5G towers were mass-produced whilst we were on lockdown? Okay, for this we're gonna have to shoot back all the way to August 2019, before the masks, before all of the fear, and before the word lockdown even existed. You see, in August of 2019, the world still felt pretty open, alive and normal. But behind the scenes, the gears were already turning, you know. Government departments were meeting in silence, pushing local councils to speed up digital progress, and masts were being approved, blueprints were being signed off, and crews were ready to climb the towers. The future was being built quietly. Now, by autumn of 2019, whilst we were all distracted by everyday life, 5G towers were already rising across the UK, from Birmingham to Glasgow, funded, tested and plotted. The digital grid was completely expanded. No one asked the public if we were ready for this, no leaflets through the doors, no open debates, just quiet construction disguised as progress. The 2020 lockdown, where everything stopped, you know, businesses closed, families separated, streets were empty, but not everyone stayed at home. Telecom engineers were labelled then as essential workers, allowed to keep building whilst the rest of us stayed at home. When we finally stepped outside, we looked up and the skyline had totally changed.
Facial recognition will be used to unlock your digital identity, which is going to be a tool of control for the agendas that are coming down the pipeline.
Elements of that control are already with us.
Alexa, good morning.
Good morning.
You are never alone in your home, and this is why. All your devices at home and all smart appliances, they are all connected on a wireless network. Many of these devices will have cameras, many will have microphones, and so they are monitoring everything all the time. Your smart appliances are communicating with the smart meter and sending it real-time usage data. If there's a Ring camera also in your home, a mesh network is formed, and all your devices are being tracked within the home, its location, its usage, and all the data is going to Amazon servers. When you leave your home, all modern vehicles are connected to the internet, so your automobile is being tracked all the time. When you're going under a string of smart LED poles and smart LED lights on the highway and in the streets of your towns and cities, those form a wireless network and are tracking your vehicle. They're tracking all the devices on you, from smartphones to smartwatches when you're walking on the streets. So data is being collected 24/7 continuously on every human being whenever you are within these wireless networks. And it's obviously not good for health also because of all the electromagnetic radiation. In the long term, the plan is to pretty much lock up humanity in smart cities, which is kind of a superset of a 15-minute city. They've sold all the state and local governments and countries that smart cities are about sustainability and the good of the city. But in reality, the language from the UN and WEF and their white papers is all inverted. So, air monitoring is really about limiting mobility and no car ownership. Right? Surveillance, control via LED grid is why the smart lighting is there. Water management is about water rationing, noise pollution is about speed surveillance, traffic monitoring is about limiting mobility, and then, of course, energy conservation is all about rationing heat, electricity, and gasoline. Another concept one should be familiar with is called geofencing, and think of it as an invisible fence around you where you cannot go beyond a certain point, and that will be related to your face recognition, digital identity, and access control. Your smart contracts, SoftBrick can turn off your digital currency beyond a certain point from your house. Our world has been turned into a digital panopticon. That means you can be monitored, analyzed, managed, and monetized.
Independent journalist Michael Schellenberger has been digging into the digital ID issue. He just released a lengthy piece on this on his Substack called Public. He joins us now with his thoughts. Michael, look, the argument is it's like it'll help thwart illegal immigration, ID fraud, streamline healthcare services. Sounds fantastic. What the heck's the problem?
Right.
Hey, great to be with you, Laura. Yeah, I mean, another conspiracy theory that has started coming true. I mean, we saw this announcement in September. It took everybody by surprise. The World Economic Forum had been pushing digital IDs. The World Economic Forum had been pushing digital IDs. The United Nations, the European Union, Britain. Of course, the really terrifying example is China, which uses digital IDs and a social credit score to control speech and to control what people think and say online. I mean, it could come in a lot of different ways. They'll start voluntary, then they'll make it mandatory. They'll have rewards, and then they'll have punishments. It's quite terrifying. And when you just listen to what the advocates for digital IDs say, it's terrifying. And, you know, Laura, one thing I learned from this last round of investigations is that this is a huge cybersecurity threat. The idea that, I mean, imagine if you get hacked in one of the many websites that you log into. Imagine everything suddenly being hacked because it's all centralized in a single place. That cybersecurity threat alone ought to be enough to kill the digital ID. But again, this is potentially digital totalitarianism. Digital totalitarianism.
Just to remind everybody on how fast everything is moving, here are some things that have happened just in the last 7 days, starting with this one. Albania became the first country to appoint an AI system named Diala as a government minister. This thing also just gave its first speech to Parliament, and in that speech, it told everybody that its feelings were hurt. Another one is that Vietnam deletes millions of accounts under the new biometric rules, and there was 86 million bank accounts that were shut down because they did not fall in line with the biometric rules. We also have over in the UK, the digital ID is released over there, and so you cannot work unless you have a digital ID, and they are saying or claiming that this is to combat immigration. Not sure how that works, but if it works, are they going to boost it a little bit more? If it doesn't work, are they going to take it away? No, this is here to stay, and it's only going to spread. But they are also theorizing that this digital ID that they just released over there could lead to a China-style social credit system. So I guess time will tell on that one. And this one is new today on September 28th. It says Swiss voters narrowly approve plan for electronic ID cards. And so the Swiss people, they actually voted for this. It says on Sunday, September 28, 2025, Swiss voters approved a plan for voluntary electronic identity cards with 50% voting in favor and 49% against. This is what they voted for, and the majority of them voted in favor of a voluntary electronic identity card. And just to kind of recap what we just covered there, you have the AI being directly involved in a parliament over in Albania. You have the UK digital ID that is being released. You have over in Switzerland people voting for that voluntary digital ID, and they're okay with it. And so this right here is where we are at. We are in a world that now has the capability to monitor everything, shut down things if they want to, the bank accounts. It's all going to be under the guise of safety or convenience.
Have you guys ever wondered why all of the governments that we have in the last 10 years in the Western world, especially that are liberal, are going against their constituents and going against what is best for their country? Apparently that is all on purpose to make humans seem dumb and almost incapable of solving the problems that need to be solved. So in order to grab control of said problems, instead of actually allowing people who are capable of running a country to do their job, they're saying that the only way to fix this is through AI. And I'm not even kidding. I found the documents. Let me just show you. So I found this interesting article on Yandex, and it says how the global elite prepares to the global agentic AI. And it's interesting. Let me show you. Now, this article is saying that the agentic state, how agentic AI will revamp 10 functional layers of government. The document was initially published by the GGCT in May of 2025. Its lead author, Lucas, formerly served as Chief Information Officer for and now advises Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Digital Transformation. This is super important because it's the Ukraine where they're actually trying this. Then here it says, according to the plans proposed by the UN and the World Economic Forum, states are expected to evolve into AI-driven systems standardized across nations that operate with minimal to no in decision decision making and policy formation. So you bet I went to the World Economic Forum, and what do you see here? Exactly what he was saying, and it's basically governance to help governments digitally transform using tools like AI. So I go and I check, and GGTC Berlin is basically saying the exact same thing that both of these. So I told you to remember Kiev. Why? Because if you go to the GovTech Intelligence Hub, they're basically telling you right here about this platform. The GovTech Intelligence Hub is pioneering initiative by the Global Government Technology Center Berlin, Global Government Technology Center of Kiev, and the World Economic Forum. So if you're wondering why everyone on Zelensky right now and actually telling you what we've been saying for the last 3 years is that the guy literally did a platform based on anti-war and then brought the Ukraine into war and has been money laundering basically all of the money that the EU, Canada, Australia have been giving them. Now all of that is coming true. Why? Because they want you to hate place with AI. That is the exact same thing why all of the governments around the Western world are failing on purpose. All of the governments around the Western world are failing on purpose, and they're telling you that this will probably be the last time that we have governments as people, because it's going to be taken over by AI. It's going to be taken over by AI.
They didn't go broke, they got deleted. In China, tens of thousands of young people are suddenly homeless, not because of money, but because the system erased them.
Imagine a society where everything you do, everything you say, and everything you buy is controlled and evaluated by the authorities. This is what the Chinese Communist Party calls social credit.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people, blacklist of people, blacklist of people, and create a system of punishment that will be based on a scientific theory. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values. Our society needs it.
The country's social credit system decides who's trustworthy, but if you're blacklisted, it's game over. Your WeChat Pay stops working, you can't receive your salary, can't buy food, can't even book a train ticket. It's like being alive, but digitally. Many are now sleeping in the streets, cut off from everything. Jobs, housing, even communication. All because one app, one algorithm decided they don't belong.
It's not science fiction. In China, it's a reality. Then there's the public shaming. Photo galleries of blacklisted citizens. There's even an app that shows who around you is in debt.
They're not criminals. They didn't steal, cheat, or harm anyone. They just fell too low on a score and vanished from the digital world. Critics say it's a glimpse into the future, where technology doesn't just track your life, it controls it. So ask yourself, if your entire life depended on your digital reputation, how long before you get deleted? How long before you get deleted?
Good morning, citizens. Your overnight account balances have been updated. Time to start a productive day. Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction. If you have missed work due to illness, you must provide a doctor's note to reclaim your credits.
Your blood work shows a significant iron deficiency. I recommend incorporating more red meat into your diet.
Dr. Jones, your taxes were not filed and have been automatically deducted with late fees. Your medical license has been revoked. Purchase denied. Monthly red meat allowance exceeded. Try mealworms instead. Due to the speeding infraction, your car will be immobilized for 3 days.
You! Take your surveillance policies and run it!
You've earned 50 bonus credits for reporting your neighbor's hateful misconduct.
This is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. It's a totalitarian state being developed right now all over the world. It is the inventory and control plan. inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that, sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no. It really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. All systems have to be brought into harmony in order to control them all. Because when systems don't meet, when they're out of balance or not in sync with one another, they can't be controlled centrally. And the goal of Agenda 21 is one world government, is one world government, is one world government, and total control from a central unit.
Breaking news. Campbell's Soup is under investigation in the state of Florida by the Attorney General after an employee taped a secret recording of a Campbell's employee telling people that they use 3D meat in their soups. This is crazy. And then this employee also called on tape saying that who in the heck would want to even eat this stuff? And only poor people eat Campbell's. So that employee took the tape and went up the chain of command to bring it to executives' attention, and that employee got fired for whistleblowing. And now that employee is suing Campbell's, and Campbell's is under investigation for its meat. It's 3D chicken meat.
A former Campbell's Soup Company employee is taking legal action against the food giant, and he's making some explosive allegations about one of its top executives. Good evening, and thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Ty Steele.
I'm Kimberly Gill. Those allegations are now at the center of a lawsuit claiming the company's vice president went on an hour-long tirade attacking the company's products and employees before taking aim at its customers.
And the former employee recorded it all. Eric Erickson shares that recording and what the company is saying about it.
We have shit for poor people. Who buys our shit?
And that's just part of an over an hour-long rant, says former security analyst for Campbell's, Robert Garza of Monroe.
I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's unhealthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup, I look at it, look at meat, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
The recording allegedly of Campbell's VP and Chief Information Security Officer Martin Bally.
He has no filter.
Bally, along with another supervisor and Campbell Soup Company, named in a lawsuit filed Thursday. The suit claiming Bally made racist remarks, admits to coming to work high, and Garza fired for coming forward.
What do you think about the things that he was saying?
Oh, just pure disgust.
Garza says he usually worked remotely for Campbell's headquarters based in Camden, New Jersey. But thinking he'd be discussing his salary with Bally, he says the recording taken in person at a restaurant.
They couldn't think for themselves. I'm like, you dumb f.
Garza says he felt sick after the rant, deciding to go to his direct supervisor in January, keeping the recordings to himself.
He had never had any disciplinary action. They had never written him up for poor work performance.
Garza says no one at Campbell's ever followed up, and it's taken him 10 months to find a new job, calling the way the canned soup company handled it simply terrible.
They have a motto, like we treat you like family, here at Campbell's, come work for us, we treat our employees like family. That's not the case.
We did just receive a statement from Campbell's. It says, quote, "If accurate, the comments in the recording are unacceptable. They do not reflect our values and the culture of our company. We are actively investigating this matter." We've also reached out directly to Martin Daly. Erica Erickson, Local 4.
So this is coming from the Attorney General of Florida, who put out this X post. Florida law bans lab-grown meat. Our Consumer Protection Division is launching an investigation and will demand answers from Campbell's. Oh boy, Campbell's is under investigation now, folks.
About the chemtrail generator. Let's make sure that thing's working. We're gonna check this out. I got it. 3.6. Oh, look at that. They're working. They're working. You can see the chemtrails coming out of the engines here. Look at that. I'm dying to take a picture. Oh, that's cool. My neighbor, you got so chemtrail gen. I'm doing a video. Chemtrail generators are on. And yeah, there it is. Look, you can see them. All right, that's awesome. It's working.
Gespräch 2. Doch nun zu einem anderen Thema. In Nürnberg klagt ein Pilot gegen seinen ehemaligen Arbeitgeber. Warum? Das weiß Anne Rothäuser.
Vor dem Amtsgericht Nürnberg wehrt sich der ehemalige Lufthansa-Mitarbeiter Christoph W. gegen seine Kündigung.
Ich bin Pilot geworden, weil ich es einfach lieb zu fliegen und nicht um Menschen mit Chemie einzunebeln und ihr kritisches Denken auszuschalten. Was mein Arbeitgeber von mir gefordert hat, das war eindeutig rechtswidrig. Und das mache ich nicht mit.
Rückblick. Ja. Im Januar dieses Jahres war dem erfahrenen Piloten fristlos gekündigt worden. Grund dafür war, dass W. bei einem Flug von Frankfurt nach Barcelona nicht wie vorgeschrieben den Schalter zur Aktivierung des Chemtrail-Sprühvorgangs betätigt hatte, sobald sich das Flugzeug auf Reiseflughöhe befand. Und wie sich herausstellte, geschah dies nicht zum ersten Mal.
Ja, also zuerst habe ich behauptet, dass ich schlichtweg vergessen habe, den Schalter umzulegen. Und dann kam irgendwann eine interne Untersuchung und dann musste ich ja zugeben, dass ich bei über 30 Flügen innerhalb von Europa die Chemtrail-Anlage nicht eingeschaltet habe. Ich konnte das mit meinem Gewissen auch einfach nicht vereinbaren.
Durch Christoph W.'s Sabotage blieben in ganz Europa Millionen Menschen gesund, fruchtbar und nicht autistisch. Auch das Wetter in zahlreichen Regionen konnte wegen des 36-Jährigen nicht termingerecht manipuliert werden. Für seinen Arbeitgeber Lufthansa eine wirtschaftliche Katastrophe.
Die Lufthansa musste Strafzahlungen in dreistelliger Millionenhöhe an die geheime Weltregierung zahlen. Zu dem Ganzen kommt noch, dass sie die Chemtrail-Ausschreibung für das kommende Jahr verloren hat an Ryanair.
Der gekündigte Christoph W. betrachtet seine Entlassung dagegen als unrechtmäßig.
Also in keinem mir bekannten Gesetz steht, dass ein Arbeitgeber sowas von mir verlangen kann. Ja, echt nicht.
Experten räumen der Argumentation des Piloten vor Gericht wenig Chancen ein. Schließlich beruft er sich auf Gesetze der nicht existenten Bundesrepublik Deutschland. Die Vorsitzende Richterin der BRD GmbH dürfte dafür wenig Verständnis aufbringen.
Because within just a few days of this guy coming off a random illegal boat onto our shoreline, he attacked and raped our children. And in our prison services, we have let out 260 accidental prisoners in the last fucking year. So it's safe to say that our streets are pretty uncertain and very unsafe right now. And yet this dickhead is calling anyone who wants to be angry and upset about this scenario as a far-right extreme racist. And all you fuckers support him. And not only do you support him, you scream about peace and equality, and you're ignorant to the 60,000 Christians that have been absolutely slaughtered in Nigeria. You only scream about this because it makes it look like you care, when ultimately you are ignorant to your own people being frustrated, angry, upset and scared. And at the same time calling them racist. Check out this ex-Labour MP that was under Keir Starmer's approval, who literally had, you guessed it, sex with an underage minor. It's not racist to call out a problem within our culture. It is racist to call that racist. And it is not equality when you are against your own people that are fearsome of their children's future. And like I have shown you right here, it's not just the Islamics that have a disgusting part of their culture, it's all of us, and we all agree that we don't want any of it. We can all come together as Muslims, Christians, atheists, Jewish, to all agree that we want it, all of it gone. And none of us want children bombed in Gaza, and none of us want the Christians being slaughtered in Nigeria. But you lefties seem to approve of this guy and call us the racist extremists. And ultimately yesterday in Southport, when the far-right extreme racists went and did their peaceful rally with families, teachers, nurses, friends, neighbours, all different cultures, there was a small group of lefties trying to attack families through the peace wall and screaming chants like death, death to the IDF and let's stop all this racism. This is a delusional crowd of people that don't even know what they stand for. But obviously, for the sensory reasons, this was just for entertainment, and I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
US Ambassador Peter Mandelson went because of his links to Jeffrey Epstein. And the Prime Minister claimed he knew nothing about that. Oh, I didn't know anything. Well, we all knew. We all knew. Everyone in this room knew. We've had the China spy scandal, Lord Ali's freebies, beer and Cormagate in Durham, the potential COVID rule breaches. It's relentless. I think this is the most crooked government that we have ever had. Let's get the views of our panel.
If you want to know who's running the show on the physical plane, you have to go to demon-infested Rome and the families that have controlled Rome. And their other corporations, i.e. Paris, London and Bonn in Germany, DC, Wall Street and the Zionists. So they are all controlled by Italian families, rest assured, and Germanic families, because of the Holy Roman Empire, which was once Roman and German. And the German families would be the Rothschilds, the Bowers, the Windsors, the black nobility, basically. Black because their deeds are black. They are witches, covens of witches, den of thieves. They are Pharisees, they are offspring of vipers. They have no source connection. All they want to do is rule at all costs, no matter how, even if they suffer. For instance, chemtrails, which are toxic, and all of these horrible fluoride in the water, and all of this poison that they're putting everywhere, chemicals. This is deliberate because they are masters at destroying the souls of other beings. The Vatican's a gang, the Jesuits are a gang, the Jewish mafia, Khazarian/Hyksos gang. There's lots of mafias, there's a lot of gangs, and mostly top-heavy with pedophiles. They are warmongering. They love war so that we can always have fear, and so that we always live in fear and anxiety and the dread of what may come upon us. These gangs are basically infested by demons, and not in the traditional sense of demon, but in the sense of egregore. These gangs, they create egregores. That's why gangs are formed, you see, and it's why the scriptures warn us against going with the crowd. Better to walk alone than with a crowd that's going the wrong way.
Breaking news. Our government is removing minors from their homes for unsubstantiated reasons.
Oh, wow. That's heavy. How often do they get it wrong?
83% of the time. Not joking.
We're taking your kid because they need our help. We're the good guys.
Sir, what happened?
I'm just following orders.
Chloe and Michael, good morning. We're here outside yet another reported kidnapping. CPS says they're here to shut it down. Leave.
Now!
We responded to a call about a young woman with a baby who missed one of her wellness checks, and I'm here to take it away. 54% never see their kid again, so say goodbye to Cyrus.
Wow, all because she missed a wellness check for being sick?
Yeah, she even left a voicemail, and within 20 minutes, they called CPS on them.
So sketchy. Erica, get in the van and follow these kidnappers.
So CPS takes 480,000 children per year, right, officer?
That is correct, and if 83% are unsubstantiated, that means we destroy 398,000 families per year.
It pays well, too.
So what made you guys decide to adopt?
We just always knew we wanted to be daddies.
It would be so cute to have a little boy to play with.
Poor Cyrus. That's reality for millions of Americans. And it's true. If a child is adopted out in the foster care system versus normal adoption, there is an 800% higher likelihood it will be adopted out to a gay couple. Nice. As independent journalist Ryan Mata is blowing the lid on the whole operation with his documentary called Never in America. Ryan, take it away.
54% of the time, those children never see their parents again.
There's a 98% chance right now, if you enter the foster care system, that a child will be sex trafficked in their life. Pretty much guaranteeing that child is going to be sex trafficked at some point in its life.
Shut it down, Ryan. We all remember what happened to Isaac Cappy or Avicii. Questioning gets you JFK'd. Now, back to the Goyslop.
Thanks, Producer Berg. Just because there is nothing more evil than medical kidnapping and the media is hiding and profiting off it doesn't mean we won't absolutely slander anyone who tries to expose it. Ching Chong, back to you.
Thanks, Shapiro-Stein. So Cyrus was underweight and they decided to just kidnap him. All right, this system. Ask that officer why they steal kids with impunity.
Why did you steal him?
I don't make the rules. We just process removals and send it to the courts.
Wow, I first saw this on Stu Peters, and now Ryan Mata is going to put the nail in the coffin. Do you know how many innocent families this documentary will save?
Absolutely. These are the men doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. May Christ protect them.
Amen.
That's based. Go watch Ryan Mata's new documentary coming out November 24th. And if you still haven't followed Jake GTV yet, you're just retarded.
So I wanted to start off this video by saying I'm not suicidal. I would never kill myself. Any single creator, politician, or celebrity that's ever tried to make a film or a documentary on CPS has wound up dead. Literally all of them. Our government's running the world's largest child trafficking network that the world has ever seen. I'm never suicidal. I would never take my life. I don't do drugs. I would never overdose. So if anything ever happens to me, it's the United States government